Dissona code Piruluk has seen the most success using a relatively honest, vanish-based open 3 strategy that is propped up by the deck's superb card economy and the ability to completely wipe out the opponent's hand with little investment. Her resource gain can be found in both the WiXoss auto ability and her partner Signy's save. In many scenarios, Piruluk's auto that lets her use a spell in her trash can also be interpreted as use a spell in your hand twice this turn. Play that emergence in hand to energize 1, then use it again with Piruluk's ability at the start of the attack phase and energize 1 more time. Save commonly offers a +2 in resources with a single copy. Her enter gives you a +1 if you find a spell in the top 5 of your deck, then another +1 at the start of your attack phase. Keep in mind that save can still give you that attack phase +1 even if you haven't used a spell yet during your main phase. Simply order your attack phase triggers so that Code Piruluk Ultimate's auto activates first, letting you use any spell in trash, then follow up with Save's auto ability. Save now recognizes that you have used a spell this turn before her auto is activated, so go ahead and net that a juicy additional card. Save is also a deceptively hard card to master for players learning this deck. Her text presents 3 different decisions the player has to make in a single turn. Which spell do they add to their hand with their enter, if any at all? What is the optimal order for the remaining cards to go to the bottom in? Should Save's auto grant the additional draw or the additional enter? All aspiring players of Dissona Piruluk have to answer each of these questions correctly game by game, and is likely the greatest factor in separating the good savers from the better savers. Dissona Piruluk's discard plan is quite unlike how Blue traditionally plays in WiXoss. Instead of using persistent discard effects turn after turn to limit the opponent's hand throughout the game, she much prefers to conserve those discard effects where possible, then unloading them all in one go when the opportunity strikes. This is very easily done with Unrest, accumulating multiple pawn turtles, and the ability to play extra more times than the opponent can handle, with Piruluk's auto helping out. Now, this is far from optimal in most cases, but this deck does have access to a one-time all-in sequence that results in making the opponent go from a full grip of 6 cards to 0 in one go. First, play Unrest, putting at least 2 pawn turtles onto the field with it. The Unrest will discard 2 cards from the opponent's hand, then the pawn turtles will discard another 2 cards upon entering the attack phase. For those remaining 2 cards, play an extra from hand, then play that extra again from the trash using Dissona Piruluk's auto. If the opponent's Zero Cluster or similar piece was baited out in a previous turn, this maneuver more or less wins the game on the spot. Just don't try to do this in every game. The reason to opt for this type of mass discard aggro is due to a couple of factors. The standard deck list for this rig has a blue count that is well below the general recommended amount for blue centers, meaning that the steady hand draining through spamming extras isn't nearly as feasible. Even if it was, the opportunity cost for this line of play gets increasingly prohibitive. And, because of Save's design, Dissona Piruluk wants to use spells to primarily maintain her own card economy and damage output, not to stubbornly keep the opponent's hand low every turn. Either way, thanks to this level of resource gain and blowout potential in the late game, Dissona code Piruluk wields a deck that is consistent, can easily match her opponent's pace in practically any matchup, and offers plenty of player agency. Here's the standardized list that Japanese players have arrived at to get the best possible results out of her. Some tech choices exist still, such as Black Aura, and Dissona, and Alos Piruluk Dissona, so be sure to explore such options to optimize your own experience with the deck. And don't worry too much about the low blue count. Mel Revise is there to fix all color issues for growing and paying for your spells. Dissona Piruluk is my absolute favorite deck to play in the Dissona archetype, and I'm very excited to see how far she will go in the upcoming GPs in Las Vegas and Dallas. This is Tetris, and hope to catch you all next time.